ever be any more pale? Probably not, because it's Scotland and the sun doesn't exist here. Hi everyone, I hope you're doing really well today. I am back here with a very short 2-book wrap up, and so yeah, I thought I'd share them with you while I'm here. So the first book that I've got is a little something different. It was picked up for me by my husband when we were on a recent trip to Edinburgh, and I used to live quite near Edinburgh and I used to go to Edinburgh a lot. However, because we've moved up to one of the islands now, we don't get to Edinburgh very often at all. So when we go, I do like to sort of hit up all the old favourite haunts, as it were. And so whilst we were playing tourist in our old sort of home city, my husband picked up this book for me because I really liked it. I thought it was unusual, and it's this one. It's The Book of Beasties, a Scottish bestiary of old 1710, and this book is basically a very short read. This book is a sort of a short dip into Scottish folklore and some of the mythical creatures of Scotland, and very much enjoyed this one. It doesn't have the usual suspects in it. You're not going to find the ones that everybody knows about. This is something a little bit different, and it has interesting illustrations, and it's all set out as if it's written almost in a non-fiction way. And as I've said, each creature's got their own illustration and some writing about them. There are some poems in here. There are some writings and musings about what the different characters are, and whereabouts in Scotland you'll find them, which I very much enjoyed. There are some that are in Mull, which is where I live now. There was a couple down in the Scottish borders from where I used to live, and it was a fun, immersive little experience, a very quick read too. I love the end papers, the sort of the old tartan style, and from what I gather, this is obviously a fiction book, but the author of this book is she is Belle Robertson, and she's a folklorist and a writer, and she grew up in the Forest of Lands in Edinburgh, and she's travelled extensively throughout Scotland and Brittany, recording myths, legends and songs. And a lot of the sources for this book is in the very, very back here, that has sort of the list of the different sources, and they're from books written back in the 1300s. And so it's based on a lot of old Scottish mythology and folklore, and it has a little map of Scotland there that shows you all the different areas, and I very much enjoyed it. I really love this book, and I'm very pleased to have it in my collection. And the next book that I read is a slight different pace. It's this one. It's The Haunting Season, and it's ghostly tales for long winter nights. I bought this one when it came out because I liked the sprayed edges on the Waterstones version, and it's taken me this long to get around to reading it because I was in a mega reading slump for quite some time. So I eventually got around to reading this. It's a selection of short stories that all have a creepy, ghostly edge to them. Some of them were better than others, as you do get in short story collections. There are some that just don't really work well with your particular reading tastes. There was one tale in here that I skipped because I couldn't understand what was happening, and I just didn't get on with the writing style, but the rest of them I loved. And we have Bridget Collins in here, Laura Purcell. There's just some brilliant writers in here, and the story's about 30 pages long, so not long. It's very easy to dip in and out of, and I found this a very enjoyable read, despite it not actually being the winter nights anymore. We're in spring, but it was a very enjoyable read too. So, as I said, there hasn't been many books, but I would love to know what you've been reading lately, if you've read any of the two that I have read. And as usual, I hope you're all doing really well, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now.